Hello everyone and welcome back to another Warhammer Quest Cursed City. Took a break last week because of the resounding failure of the last run, where we actually did fail the entire mission, specifically going through a deliverance mission to get to the first decapitation. Thankfully this time there'll be no Radagar constantly appearing as Combat Group 2, which was basically the clincher for it failing last time. That and rolling that he constantly spawned Bloodborns, which was not fun at all. So it's just a normal deliverance to the decapitation this time. We have to clear 10 of these cards in the deck, you can just see in the bottom right there. Just have to get through them, and then there'll be a door that leads down to the actual Fell Guardian, which is the first decapitation mission. Also, very lucky that nobody died. It was only a 1 in 12 chance for each character to die, but thankfully none of them did. We did waste some consumables that are gone now, obviously. But we did get an upgrade at the end there, so our Wood Elf has base defense D8 instead of D6. So it wasn't all bad, I suppose. So in order to get just straight into it, I'm going to draw the first two cards, and we'll see what we get. So that is a very simple starting room for them, followed by a other slightly larger room. So we need two combat groups. I don't remember if I shuffled these, so I'm just going to shuffle them now, just in case. There we go. So combat group 1 for this group. We have to go by the level 1s, 2 zombies, and Gorslav the Gravekeeper and 2 more zombies. Well, at least it's thematically apt. So we have our initial setup and we are entering turn 1, so I'm going to move the turn timer. Again, this is just essentially supposed to be busy work. So unfortunately we rolled 4 4s for our initial Destiny dice roll, so we're getting a single 3. But this is just to guarantee there's almost night, or actually night, by the time we get to the decapitation mission. Krillin gets a 4, 5, 6 and a 1. Got to try and remember her base defense is higher now. Saltspire gets a 4, 4, 6 and a 2. Imelda, who's also still carrying a potion of concentrated vitality, 2, 3, 5, 6, which means she can buff up like one big attack. 2, 3, 5, oh, I accidentally knocks to 6. And then we still have Barden, our dwarf, who's carrying that weird crimson blade. 1, 3, 4, 5. We'll come around this side of things because we need to draw initiative, which I hope I have shuffled. So that is Hostile Group 1 going first, which is the 2 Dead Walker zombies. Now, I think your door's supposed to be closed, which is why I have it closed, so I don't actually think they can do anything, because I don't think enemies can open doors. Also, I'm beginning to think, oh no, it is shuffled. It's just the enemies went first. I guess they can walk right up to the door, but they can't open it as far as I'm aware. So, Imelda, let's see, Carillion, Saltspire, and then Barden last. So Hostile Group 1 will activate regardless of what they roll. They're just going to walk up to the door, so we don't need to do that, because again the door is closed. We need a 4+ to open it. Then it becomes Hostile Group 2. That we will roll for, because Gorslav can summon more zombies. A 12 for Gorslav is Corpse Planting. If there are no heroes adjacent, treat this result as Call of the Gravekeeper. This hostile and all Dead Walker zombies make an advance. Fair enough. And he moves 3 and they move 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And we do still have to worry about the Suffocating Gravetide arriving in... It arrives next turn and then it eats the tile at the end of the turn. So we don't want to linger. So the first player character activating will be Imelda, and she does thankfully both have a 4+ and is also at the front, so she'll spend her 5 to flip open this door. It's a little awkward to get to, and she does count as adjacent, so she'll spend her 6 to immediately death blow. We'll roll 1 for each zombie, so it doesn't really matter. And her death blow, it does base 2 damage. Zombies have 3 health, so each of them took 1 wound. She'll then spend her 2 to attack, it doesn't matter, top 1. No! Oh no, why not she'll spend her 3 and do it again. That was off camera, but also a miss. She'll spend the 3 on the Destiny board. It's happening all over again, isn't it? Well, that's her turn done. All she did was 4 wounds. Let's see if she inspires. Nope. And then after her is Carillion, who technically can't take any shots, because she's not adjacent to the door and she also can't get through the door, but that's a stupid rule, so I'm going to ignore it and keep firing. So she's going to shoot once at one of the wounded ones and do enough to kill them, and then fire again and kill the other one. and then she shall spend her 4 to move through. 1, 2, and that counts as adjacent, so she'll have to stop there. And then finally she'll spend her 6, and she'll just she'll sword. Yes, because she upgraded the base damage to 2. Doesn't matter. She'll sword. A crit on her sword is actually a 3. So that's 3 of his massive 9 wounds. Done. And then she did what? 3, 4, 5. Nope. No inspiration point for her. Then after her is Saltspire. He'll spend a 2 to move 3. 1, 2. Just get some right adjacent. He'll fire his once per turn Judgment for a 5+ because he has a 6. It actually critted, and it crits for, oh wow, 4. Does the extra stake get through? Of course not. 4 is good though. So that's 4 more wounds right there. And then he'll do 2 Ardent Blades, assuming he needs to. Here's the first one. Nothing. Here's the second one. That's a crit. How much does he crit for? He crits for 3. So that actually is enough to kill Gorslav, the Gravekeeper. Oops. Then knock the world out of the way. So he did 9 wounds, and he actually did get an inspiration point. But we didn't exactly make much progress, and then after him finally is Barden, the one who we need to be up front, and going last again. I guess I could have gambit, or used a gambit rather. So he's moving 3. 1, 2, 3, it puts him adjacent to the door, and then he's going to strike each zombie as many times as it takes. He's got 3 attacks. First attack, a crit with his axe is 3 damage. It's dead. Second attack, a normal attack would normally be 2, but he's upgraded his weapon to also make it a 3 base damage. So he killed that zombie as well. And he'll just walk through so he can loot next turn. 1, 2, 3. And did he inspire? He did. So he and Saltspire. In fact, Saltspire would have got 2 because he killed a champion, and that's his criteria for Relentless Hunter. So he actually, yeah, he got 2, and Barden got 1. And we're at the end of turn 1, so end of turn event. That was not on camera, was it? It was a 5. A 5 is... oh no, it's a crisis. Already? Okay, roll the die for a deliverance crisis. Hopefully it's not one we've done. That's a 6. Section 24 on page 30. Is this one we've done? If it is, I'm going to re-roll it. No, it's not. Okay, I have to pick who to send before I read this. Let's send Carillion. The heroes see a Geist that has been haunting this area. Perhaps this is an opportunity to put it down for good. The acting hero must choose if they wish to hunt the spectre or leave well enough alone. They'll hunt it. 106 on page 38. 106. Page 38. The hero enters a bloodstained crypt. Before long, the shrieking Geist emerges from its learned attacks. The acting hero makes 1 free weapon action, as if the target was adjacent and visible. Reroll fail attacks if you're an executioner. She is. Place wound counters in front of the acting player to record total damage dealt. If this target has suffered 3 or more damage, the Geist is slain. Otherwise, the acting hero suffers 2 damage, against which they can make a defense roll. Repeat this process. Okay. So she's doing a sword attack. She just critted for 3. How many wounds do I need to do? The target has suffered a total of 3 or more damage. The Geist is slain. Oh, okay. It's slain. So that would have kept on going backwards and forwards until one of them died. That was like 4 souls. The Binding of Isaac 4 souls. It's a card game. If the Geist is slain, the acting hero gains 2 inspiration points and the crisis ends. If the acting hero is taken out of action, the crisis ends. Well, she did the crisis and she gets to come back next to any adjacent hero, so she'll teleport and come back next to Barden. So she's got 2 inspiration points. Saltspire, or Vampire Hunter, has 2, and our Dwarf has 1. That was such a better turn than last time. Start of a new turn, the Suffocating Gravetide has properly arrived and will devour that square at the end of the turn. Move the Night Timer along 1, and our Destiny dice for this turn. We lose 2 4s again. What's with all the 4s? And we lose 2 1s, in fact. So once again we have a single die, but at least this time it's a 5. And I'll just roll activation dice since we're over here. One of the dice went miles away. 1 2 2 4 for Carillion, which not too great. The only cards we'll be drawing for initiative are the heroes, because they're the only ones currently left alive. However, one of them's going to instantly open the door and put 2 combat groups on the field. So Saltspire has a 5-5-2-6. Captain Imelda, 1124, not great, but she just needs to move to catch up and get away from the grave tide. And then finally Barden. Oh, okay, 1246. He might do some looting in order to get his inspiration points. It will actually be Barden going first, so he may do exactly that, and then it's Carillion, that's perfect. And then Saltspire, so if we do open up a new thing mid-turn, what happens is the enemy initiative cards just get placed after mine, so they will be getting an activation, it's just last. So, Barden will immediately loot for a 4, for a 4. So he gets to draw 2 and pick 1. A Crisis or Realmstone. This hero can keep up to 2 treasure cards. Oh, sorry, I misread that. This hero can keep up to 2 treasure cards. I thought that was only on his inspired side. They didn't say draw at all. So in fact, he would have drawn the Crisis, which is potentially bad, I guess. Resolve 1 Crisis from the Journey book. Okay, that we can do. Sorry, Barden. You're doing Crisis 11, which is... Let's just go back to the page for Deliverance. Section 29 of 31. 29 on 31. Carriage of the Damned. A black coach screams down the street nearby, seeking sites of slaughter so that the remains of the creatures inside can feed upon the energies of death. It must be dealt with lest it wreak havoc. The acting hero must choose to confront the coach, lead it on a chase, or ignore it. Barden's tough. He's got like defense D12 and whatever that red blade is. He'll choose to confront it. Page or entry 137 on 41. 137. Facing a black coach is not for the faint of heart. One needs to avoid the driver's swinging scythe and the heavy frame of the coach itself. The acting hero makes 3 defense rolls, rerolling failed ones if you're a blade. Is he a blade? No, he's a stalwart. If all 3 rolls are successful... Oh, wow. Well, first defense roll, he passed. Second defense roll, he failed. Whoop-de-doo. Let's see, if all of them were successful, he would have gained 1, otherwise he suffers 4 damage. Well, thankfully he's going to instantly heal 1, but still. So he would take 1 damage, and then it becomes a Grievous, and then he's still going to lose a die though, because then that becomes 1 damage, and then that becomes a Grievous. He actually wouldn't heal because his turn's already started. He heals at the top of his turn, because it's before you make your activation rolls. So instead of opening the door to the next area... Oh, and he looted this, of course. Instead of doing that, he's going to do 2 Vit rolls with his other 2 dice, because that sucked. He crit healed 1 of them, so he can bring it down to normal, I believe. So he'll do that instead. And then that will disappear at the top of his next turn, but yeah, that was not great. You'd think Stalwarts would have a better chance if it's defense roll based, but oh well. So that card's gone, for now, anyway. And after him, it's Carillion, and she is going to open up the next area. So she's going to move for 1, which gives her 3, and then she will spend her 4 because it has to be a 4+, and she will flip open this door, which means I'm going to have to move the map and whatnot. So we'll do a little break. But first, 2 rooms get activated. So it's that room and that room, 2 big-ish rooms. So we need 2 combat groups. Combat group 1 on this group is now Watch Captain Halgrim and 2 Ulfenwatch, and on this one, it's a Bloodborne. Ugh, my nemesis. Alright, let's get this set up. So we'll pull things back here a little bit, and we have set up here, so Watch Captain and 2 Ulfenwatch, and then the Bloodborne at the bottom of your screen here. Carillion still hasn't finished her turn. She has 2 dice left. She's going to back up and by spending a 2, and then Overwatch down to a 1. Just because we need all of our team here, especially now that Bloodborne is here. So after her is our Vampire Slayer. He will spend his 2 to move 3 and go 1, 2, 3. He'll spend his 5 and then he'll go on Overwatch, and he, much like Carillion, don't lower their dice, but thanks to quick reflexes from leveling up 1, 2, 3. So he's Overwatching with 2 dice, hoping that the Watch Captain or the Ulfenwatch will come through the door and get smacked. And then finally, Imelda, she just needs to run, so she's spending a 4 for a 4, and then a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And she might as well spend a 1 to move again, and then our last dice, which is a 2, goes down to a 1, and she'll overwatch at the door there to cut someone as they come through. Now I randomised which enemy group would go on the timeline first, and it was actually group 2, which is the Bloodborne. So activate them. A 1 is a Scent of Blood. Each acting hostile makes a charge action while making this. I don't think they're going to get them anyway. Move 5. Well, actually, no, it charges a double move, so they totally will. Each hostile can move adjacent heroes with no wound or grievous wound counters. If possible, each hostile must end its charge adjacent to one or more heroes with injuries. So she wants to go after the dwarf, but she isn't going to get past them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and then she would stop because she is adjacent to Imelda. However, she would also at that point trigger various overwatches. So Imelda's overwatch. Can she choose to use that potion right now? A hero with this treasure card can use it at any time during their active. No, it's not during her activation, so I guess not. She got them though. 2 damage. Does he ignore it on a 9+, or does she ignore it? No, she does not. So that's 2 of the 6 wounds right there. And then Janice will overwatch with his gun. Ugh. And then he also has another overwatch, and he will overwatch with his sword, which is actually a D12. It's off the screen, but it was basic hit for 2 damage, which she ignored. And then Krillin can fire 1 arrow at them, and then that's all the overwatch done. Hit them for base 2 damage thanks to her upgrade. That's a 6. So that becomes a Grievous. They have 4 of their either 5 or 6 wounds. They will get to attack though on Imelda with a D12. So this is the attack roll. It stayed on screen. That is 2 damage, and she rolls a D8 for defense. And she critted it and stopped all damage coming through, which is excellent. Bloodborne's turn done, and then watch Captain Halgrim. It's a 7, which is a disciplined advance. Makes an advance, then all Ulfenwatch also make an advance. 1, 2, and he can't go any further. 1, 2, and they also can't go any further. So they're just going to stay there. It doesn't matter what I roll for the Ulfenwatch. Oh, actually, unless they have something that makes them reinforce or bring like more people in. A 4 is a charge. Nope, they can't get in. So that is end of turn. End of turn event is an 8. Our time grows short. Move the timer up 1, which I have now done. And because we're at the end of the turn, this square gets nommed by the Gravetide. So at the start of a new turn, our turn timer goes up 1 more time. I also just realised I did not spend the 1 destiny die we had that turn at all. We lose 2 1s. That was a 1, but I knocked it. We keep a 2, 5, and a 6. Finally, we get some destiny dice to play with on a turn where we do want to do a lot of damage and also haul our bottoms. 3 5s and a 6 for Krillin, really good. For Saltspire, 2 1s and 2 4s. Oh no, we're stuck in the time loop again. And then Imelda, 2 6s, a 3 and a 4. Very similar dice rolls, it's very strange. Oh, at the start of the dwarf's turn, he heals. He can either turn a Grievous to a normal or heal a normal. He will heal a normal, and that means he only has the 1 Grievous on him, so he gets to get 3 activation dice. 3, 4, and a 6. And with that, initiative order. That is Saltspire going first. Hostile Group 1, which is watch Captain Halgrim, so he's actually stuck currently, so it might be better if the Bloodborne doesn't die yet. Then our Dwarf, then Imelda. Hostile Group 2 is right there, so that's the Bloodborne. And then Carillion. So Saltspire is going first, but like I say, it's kind of okay if the Bloodborne doesn't die yet. It's got 6 wounds in total and it's taken 4 damage. It's got 2 left. I think he's just going to sit there and do nothing. He'll overwatch with all of his dice. Yeah, he will. Because then Halgrim and the watch activate and they can't get in. So, yeah. So, he skips his turn, he overwatches, and he doesn't reduce his dice because of his quick reflexes. Then, watch Captain Halgrim and those guys activate. They can't get in because the Bloodborne is filling the space. So that's fine, and then it becomes the Dwarf's turn, and he will cut up the Bloodborne. Hopefully, spend 1 die to attack him, That rolled slightly off camera, but it is a crit for 3 damage, which is enough to kill him unless he shrugs it. He does not shrug it. Boom. Okay, now we can move in and start doing damage. He'll spend his 3, followed by his 6. 1, 2. Oh, that's right, he's blocking the door as well, though. I forgot about that. Actually, what if he stands here and drags him through? Oh, but you're not supposed to be able to see the room unless you're adjacent, even though you can very clearly just see a straight line. I'm going to say I can see a straight line. It's dumb that you can't. He'll spend a 6 for his harpoon gun on Halgrim. It's a 4+ you need. He critted with it for 3 damage, and he also pulled him in. How much wounds does Halgrim have again? He's 7. It's tankier than I remember. And he'll spend a 2 off the Destiny dice to hit him again. No, he won't. Fair enough. So after him, it's Imelda. Imelda is going to use her Vial of Potent Concentration to make her get +1/+2 till the end of the turn. Or, no, end of your next attack, right? Yeah. And then she'll spend, she doesn't need the death blow, she'll just spend a 3 then. She'll attack, and missed. She doesn't even have an inspiration point to reroll it. So that's a wasted item. Goodbye, wasted item. She'll attack again. She critted this time, which would have been 6 damage, but instead it's just 4. 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's still enough to kill him. Good. Oh, I put that on the wrong card. There we are. Oh yeah, the Dwarf Inspire. No. Imelda's not done yet. She's going to spend the 5 off the board to come over here, and then she's going to do as many death blows as it takes to kill these guys, and she can do 3 of them, unless it's limited to 1 per turn. Nope. First death blow. First zombie. Nope. Second zombie. And I don't mean zombie, I mean Ulfenkarn, sorry. They have 2 wounds each, 1's dead. Spent her own 6 again to do another death blow. It's dead. Okay, no more enemies left. And a 5 is 2, 4, yeah, that is enough. She gets 1 inspiration point. Just a single one, which I'll have to look out because I'm actually using all the counters I have right now. Oh wait, no I'm not. There's one right there. She's got 1 inspiration point. She has no dice left. There's a 6 on the board. Just Carillion left to go. She's got her own dice. She'll spend the 6 to make a bit of progress, I guess. To move. So she'll move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she can maybe search the mysterious objective, get some loot again at the top of the next turn. And Carillion, she'll just spend as many dice as required to get to the same bit. So if she spends 3 of her 3+ dice, she gets 15 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So she could actually open up. I know you can't quite see. I'll move the camera in a second once they're all down here. She's good to open that door next turn. And speaking of which, that is end of turn. So the Gravetide devours this and gets to here. And we do our end of turn event. A 1. A Destiny denied. No Destiny dice next turn. New turn, turning the turn timer. We're nearing, or we basically are at the halfway point towards night, or actually will be next turn. No Destiny dice, straight to activation dice. Oh, our Dwarf's Grievous heals automatically down to a normal wound, but it's still taking up a die slot. Carillion gets a 2, 4, 6, 6 gained. Saltspire, 1, 2, 2, 3. Then Imelda. 2 4s, a 1 and a 5, and then just 3 dice for our dwarf. 3, 3, 5. I actually forgot to adjust the initiative deck because there's not currently any enemy groups, so I just need to remove 2 of them. And then quickly shuffle, although again it's just our heroes, so it doesn't really matter. Well, it kind of does actually. You want Carillion going last. So that's Barden going first, Carillion second. Saltspire, was I even showing that to the camera? I wasn't, was I? My bad. And then last is Imelda, which isn't too bad I suppose. Okay, so Barden's going first. He'll spend a 3 to move 3. 1, 2, 3. He'll spend his other 3 to move 3, and then he'll try a Vit roll. 1, 2, 3. And then his Vit is a D8. And he healed. He got rid of his normal wound. Good. And that was kind of pointless actually, because he's just going to heal at the top of the next turn anyway, but he could have looted to inspire, or potentially inspire. No, it's fine. I don't mind other people having loot. So after him is Corellian. Does she open up the way, or do we burn a turn? That's tricky. Because we've cleared... Well, this is the 4th tile that they're on of the 10 we need. Yeah, she will activate. She'll spend her 4 to open the door. We need to have forward progress here, so that means we draw 2 more cards. So we're getting that room, and we're getting that room. Combat Group 1 in the first room is a Kersagi Night Guard, which we haven't seen for a little while. And then Hostile Group 2 is 3 zombies, which is nothing. So I'll get them set up and then we'll carry on with her turn. Alright, we've got them all set up and we are good to carry on with Corellian's turn. And she is right up to the door, so she's just going to pepper the Kersagi Night Guard with arrows, I think, because he has 10 wounds and is otherwise quite intimidating. So she's going to spend 2 6s and a 2, bunch of arrows, just loosing them into him, 2-3 damage. So that's a crit for 3. I've got to remind myself, does he have a way to ignore damage, or does he just reduce damage? Let's see, each time he suffers damage, on a 10 plus he reduces the damage by 2 to a minimum of 1. Okay, so he's taken 3 currently. He did actually reduce it to 1. Joy. And the second arrow she loosed at him is also 3 damage, which he also reduced to 1 damage. Okay, and then the third arrow she loosed at him, that was off camera, but it was a miss. So she did 2 of his 10 wounds, good job. I guess she could have re-rolled that. Actually, she'll spend an inspiration point to re-roll that last attempt. So she's down to 1 inspiration point. Oh, she's critted already. Does he reduce the damage of this one? No, he does not. So that did the full 3 damage. So we'll just put a new one on there. So she actually did half his wounds. Does she get that inspiration point back? She does not, because she rolled a 10 again. So after her is Saltspire, and sadly he's way at the back. He can spend a 3 to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll spend a 1 and a 2 to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want him on the front actually. He's good enough there. And he'll overwatch with a 2. Oh, there's no point overwatching with a 2 there because they're going to stop at the door and hit Corellian. He'll still stop there because he doesn't have enough dice to do anything. And then Imelda, she will spend a 4 to loot. And I didn't shuffle these after we accidentally drew a card, so I know what card is next, so I don't want that. So I'm just going to quickly shuffle them real quick. There we go, because it would have been 1 realm stone, since that's what I accidentally drew when I drew 2 for the dwarf. And she found 2 realm stone. Alright, well, fine. Then she'll move 3. 1, 2, 3, and she'll overwatch with a 4 down to a 3 and a 5 down to a 4 for when that Kersagi Night Guard comes a-calling. And she might take the hit for Corellian. And that's it for the hero's turn. Oh, this goes away because it was looted. And yeah, Hostile Group 1 is the Kersagi Night Guard. He's probably just going to advance or charge. That is a 9, which is a charge. So he's just going to walk 1. And then we're going to say it's going to attack Imelda, but it triggers her Overwatch first. So she's got 2 Overwatch strikes. We'll just roll them simultaneously. 1 missed anyway. And then 1 did 4 unless he reduces it by 2, which he does not. So it did 4. So throw in an extra 1. Sorry, an extra 3 and a 1. So that's him 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 1 wound left typically. And he gets to attack, and he attacks with double D8 on Imelda. He missed. Nice. And then Hostile Group 1 is just the zombies. They're not going to be able to get past the Kersagi Night Guard, so it doesn't really matter. But let's come around here and see what an 11 is. Impaling Cursed Briar. Each acting hostile makes an advance. If a hero suffers damage from that advance, they are trapped. But thankfully that is not going to happen. So it's just an advance, so they don't even get to move twice. So that would be 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's not so bad. It could definitely be worse. End of turn. The tile at the top of the screen. Nom 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 nom. Gone. Clean that up proper in a second. So he's now there. And end of turn event. A 5. Let's come back over here now. Go from one side to the other. It's a crisis. Another bleeping crisis. Bleep. Bleep to you, sir. Deliverance Journey Crisis. Crisis I. Well, doesn't matter who. Well, Doesn't matter about picking who before I roll because I have no idea what it's going to lead to. We got a number 3 though. Let's say that... let's see what the dwarf does, because hopefully I get to return him adjacent, so it will save some time. So we'll send the dwarf now. I rolled up what, a 3, so that is section 21 of page 30. 21. Unholy defilement. A sacred site that is the anathema, that's the word, to the undead of Ulfenkarn is being desecrated. Safeguarding it will be no easy feat. Choose to protect it or choose to let it be destroyed. We'll choose to protect it. So page 41, 136. 41, 136. This holy site weakens nearby undead if the hero has the necessary knowledge of ritual. They can enhance this effect. A tactically minded hero could instead use their phenomenon to their advantage. If the acting hero is a lore master or blade, nope on both counts. Roll d12, otherwise roll a d8. Okay, it's just a straight dice roll. Success for good thing, no success for bad thing. It rolled off the screen, but it is a normal success. I don't know if that matters yet. If the roll is successful, the hero uses cunning strategy and the mystic power of the holy site to drive back the undead horde. The acting hero gains 2 inspiration points and the crisis ends. And he already has 1 inspiration point, so he is actually just going to spend those instantly and inspire, and flip over to his inspired side. He returns to the battlefield adjacent to someone. He shall return down here. So I'll flip his card, and then we'll start the next round. Alright, moving the timer towards night up. It's well and truly into the second half of the timer. We do get destiny dice this turn though, so these might be a little bit off screen just because of where the tiles are going. We lose 2 1s. We keep a 3, 4, 5. Carillion's dice. 1, 4, 5, 6. Then a Melda, no sorry, Saltspire's dice. 2, 3, 3, 5. This is Imelda's dice. 2, 3, 3, 4. Oops. 2, 3, 3, 4. And then Barden is back to full wounds. 1, 3, 6, 6. Okay. And once again, I forgot to shuffle initiative cards because I was sorting other things. So let's just, we'll do it live. We'll shuffle live. Okay. Hostile Group 1 is the Kersagi Night Guard going first. He gets to do something before he dies, which is just typical. And Saltspire, and then Barden, then Imelda. No, sorry, not Imelda, then Carillion rather. Hostile Group 2, and then Imelda at the back, huh? Imelda gets to do a reroll failed gambits for the turn. She'll spend her 2 and try and do a gambit. She's only a d6 though, which sucks. Then she gets to reroll a failed gambit attempt, and she still failed because I wanted her to go first. Carillion will spend her 1 to try and do a gambit, and she's agility d12. She passed, so she can swap with any adjacent, well, line of sight person. She will swap with Saltspire so that she goes after the Kersagi Night Guard so that she can kill him and clear the way. So he goes first though, unfortunately. I rolled a 2 for his action, which is just a simple advance, so he's just attacking. Double d8 into Imelda. She deserves to get hit. She did. Critted for 4 damage, and she is d8 defense. She did not, so she took 2 grievous wounds. Which, well, at least she wasted 1 die on a gambit, and she'll lose a 3. Take another grievous. Ow. She could technically have used an inspiration point to try and reroll that, but yeah. So that's Carillion's turn then. She will, it's only got 1 wound, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. So she can't fire an arrow into it first and then hit it for another inspiration point. So she'll just sword attack it for the 3 off the destiny board. She killed it. Oh yeah, because even if you reduce it to 1, he still dies. So that is done. And she's up to the door, so apparently she can see the entire tile. She'll shoot into one of the zombies for her 4. She got a crit, which is 3 damage, so she just killed it. She'll spend her 5 and do it to the other one. She crit. I wasn't wanting her to kill it. I wanted her to wound it and then go in and finish it off for an inspiration point. She has 1 die left. She'll use her own die to move and then spend the 4 off the board to attack. So she's turn her to face the right way at least. She hit, and that's only 2 damage. So the one I wanted her to kill, she didn't kill. The ones I didn't want her to kill, sorry, she killed. And the one I did want her to kill, she did not. Either way, Burden activated. He's going to spend 2 to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and then he has to stop because that's adjacent. He'll spend 1, 6. And on his inspired side, he's double D12. He murderizes. Oh, did Krillin get a point for wounds dealt? Yes, she did. She's up to 2. And then he'll spend his other 6 to loot. Why not? So let's see, now that he's on his other side, now he draws 2 and picks 1. So his choices are Realm Stone or a Vita Elixir. When this would it's to remove disease, he'll take the Realm Stone because it gives him. Oh wait, no, it doesn't need inspiration points though, because he's inspired already. Yeah, he'll take the Vita Elixir on the off chance someone ends up getting a disease, I guess. Because on his inspired side, he can hold 3 things. And I'll just shuffle that single Realm Stone back into the deck. Then after him, the Soul Spire, he'll spend 2 3s to move 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he'll spend his 5 to loot that mysterious objective that you can just see on the side of your screen. And he finds 2 Realm Stone. It's fine. He has a 2 left, he'll move to the door, adjacent to the door. I know you can't quite see, he's down at the bottom left. All the hostile groups are gone, so it goes straight to Imelda, who is wounded, and there's 1 Destiny die left. She'll do 2 Vit rolls of her own, and then she'll just use the Destiny die to move. She brought 1 Grievous down to normal, and then moved 4. She's still got 2 spaces filled though, unfortunately. End of turn event. 8. Our time grows short. 1 more towards night again. So no enemies on the board, but we are 1, 2, and 3 turns it's night. Destiny dice, we lose the 2s, keep a 3, 4, 5. Krillin still has all of her dice. We still need to clear 4 tiles incidentally, so it's definitely going to be night, probably before we even get down. 1, 1, 6, 3 for Soul Spire, only 2 dice for Imelda because she's hurting. 6 and a 2, she'll hopefully have to do some healing. And then all 4 for the dwarf. 4, 5, 5, 2. Put them over there. And obviously no enemies on the board, so we know these are just going to be their initiative cards. Oh, and I didn't cover it, but obviously the grave tile tied 8 something. So Krillin, Soul Spire, Imelda needs to heal, as previously said, and then that means Barden's last. So Krillin will spend a 2 to move 3. Actually, 3 is not enough to get to the door, so never mind. She'll spend a 3 to get 5. 3, 4. And then she'll spend the 4 off the Destiny board to open up the door. So we need to draw 2 more tiles immediately. That is, well, there's the encounter accidentally. That's the space to be on, but it's going to be 2 Ulfenwatch. And then large room with 2 mysterious objectives and 2 combats. 3 corpse rats and 3 Ulfenwatch. Alright, getting more dangerous. So there we have it, we have those combat groups on the field. We need to put 1, 2 and 3 on the track though, so I'll just quickly shuffle those up because I forgot to do that and put them at the end of the track. Hostile group 1 is going at the end of the track first, and then hostile group 3 and hostile group 2. Fair enough. Krillin needs to finish her turn though. She's going to take pot shots at the Ulfenwatch. Start with the banner. And that is 3, so he's dead. Spin another one, shoot the other one. That's a crit as well. There we are. They're both dead. And then she will move in and she will loot. Because she doesn't get to loot nearly enough. 1, 2. She'll stand there. She'll loot this. And we'll draw a card. Don't be anything bad. Skeleton key, hang on a second. A hero with this treasure card can make this action unlock 1+. The hero makes a free search action or explore. If they made a search action, they draw 2 and pick 1. After making it, okay, so she can do a free search of another bit of potential loot, or she can do a free explore, like she doesn't need a 4+ to open up a door or to find the nest. That's fine. We'll take that, and that's the last of her turns. Saltspire, he's going to spend 2 ones to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stand there, waiting for the... Yeah, it actually is. He's just going to overwatch with his last 2 dice. He's going to let the rats come through where he is. And then Imelda activates. She's going to do 2 vit rolls and then spend the last destiny die to move again. So her 2 vit rolls. She can get rid of a Grievous. So she's left with a normal wound that she hasn't quite shook. And then she moves 3. 1, 2, 3. And then finally Barden for us. He can spend any number of dice to move. Let's see, spend 2 to move 6 and we'll go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll... If he overwatches there, he'll be able to do 1 ranged die. No, he'll spend a 5 and then he'll overwatch with a 5 down to a 4 so that he is in the way there. So the rat comes through, triggers overwatch from 2 of them. Speaking of which, Hostile Group 1 is actually... Oh no, the Ulfenkarn are dead. What am I talking about? So Hostile Group 1 is already gone, so never mind. Don't worry about them. It would go to Hostile Group 3, which is the other Ulfenwatch. So that is a 9. I just realised I put their cards over here to try and make it easier. Dance Macabre, they each make a move followed by a charge. So they move 3, and then they move 3, then move 3. Well... I don't think they can get past the rats. So they would get there and get stuck, and he would get there and get stuck. I don't think they're allowed to... Well, maybe they can phase through the rats. Let's say they can. So they'll actually end up there, and he'll end up there. Triggering Overwatch as they come through, of course. So Barden's Overwatch. Got a crit on this one over here, so he's killed one of them. And then Jensen's, he'll just use his sword twice. Killed the other one already, so he's actually still got 1 Overwatch left. Goodbye, my poor Ulfenwatch that has a bendy spear. The other one can't quite get through because he had to stop. And then the rats. You make all the rolls. 6. Remove all wound counters, then make an advance. Well, they have no wounds, that's fine. Advance. Doesn't matter which one of these 2 comes through, only one of them can. And that will trigger his other and final Overwatch. How much does that do for him? 2 damage, and that's a little rat swarm. Nope, didn't kill it. It's got 1 wound left. So it does get to attack. That means, let me just get the wound counters. It's going to attack Barden because he could potentially heal at the end of the turn. So they attack with a single d6. I think they get to reroll though. I'll double check. It missed. Do they get to reroll? No, but if they do damage, they infect people with diseases. So I'm glad he missed. End of turn event then. If we need to get through 2 more tiles after this, and then we get down to the lair incidentally. A 7. Our time grows short. Okay, so when it rolls over to the next turn, that'll be the turn before it becomes night. And then, oh, the tile that you can only barely see, it gets nommed and is gone. New turn. It's nightfall after this one, so I want to make as much progress as possible. We lose 2 4s of the destiny dice, we keep a 1, 2, 6. Carillion's activation dice. 2 and 3 5s. Saltspires. 1, 3, 4, 5. 3 dice for Imelda. 2, 3, 5, and she's lagging at the back there. And then the dwarf. 3, 4, 5, 6. And he does have the ability to heal if a rat happens to get a disease bite on someone. So this Saltspire going first, and then that is Imelda who's at the back. Oh, we're getting lucky. Barden. We're getting very lucky, in fact. Hostile Group 2, and then Hostile Group 3, because there's no Hostile Group 1 anymore. Well, he'll immediately just use his Ardent Blade, and he will immediately murder the rat. It's just occurred to me I haven't been rolling for inspiration points for quite some time. He's not done yet though. He'll walk up to the door with a 1 off the Destiny board, and then make another sword attack against the Ulfenkarn. Normal hit for that is 2, and a normal Ulfenkarn is 2. Okay, that's perfect. Splat. Then he will walk through with the 2 off the Destiny board. He's drunk. He'll shoot his gun into the big rat who makes all the rules. He hit for normal. Does he get the bonus point from his stake gun? He actually does. So that is 2 plus the stake gun is 3. I think the big rat has 4 wounds though. Yep, they do. They have 4 wounds. Like that. In that case, he has 1 die left. He'll just do a sword attack into the big rat. He killed it. Did he inspire? He got about 6 wounds, I think. I need to count up now. He killed the rat. The big rat is 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he killed more than 6 because the rat swarm had 1 wound left. So he got an inspiration point, and that means he can spend 3 to inspire. So I'll flip his card when I do a cut. He has nothing left. He could technically attack the rat that's there, but I mean, why not? Sure, he'll sword attack that. That's why you don't, because he missed. Whatever, it's fine. After him is Melda. She'll move. Actually, no, she'll vit roll first of all. She'll vit roll again. Wow, and then she'll move. 1, 2, 3. Waste of a turn. Barden will move up to the door and then shoot through it with his harpoon gun and kill the last enemy, and then he'll move through and he'll go right up to the door, I think, because he'll move 6. So that rat's gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, he's right at the door. And then finally, Carillion. She will, well, she can easily get up to the door as well with what she's got left, so it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She had much more than enough to cover that. In fact, let's see, that would be 10. Oh, yeah, it's 10 by itself. She'll look to see if it's Realmstone. It's a trap. The hero that made the search action must either make a defense roll or an agility roll. She shall make her agility roll because it's a d12. She failed it. Suffers 1 damage. The hero can choose to draw another discovery card, it says. Sure, why not? Realmstone, please. Okay, she's got to go do a crisis. Give me the crisis book. Here we go. So many crises. Crisis I. A 10. Didn't we do that one? 28 on page 31. Skull familiar. A bat-winged skull detaches itself from where it had been feeding on an unconscious citizen. A well-placed shot should take care of it. When resolving this crisis, skip steps 5, 6, 7 and 8 of the game flow and follow the instructions below. They make 1 free attack. Okay, she makes 1 free rerollable attack with her bow and arrow, I guess. She doesn't need it because she crit. Let's see. Where are we? Skull familiar. If the roll is successful, the familiar is destroyed and the crisis ends. If the roll is a failure, grow fear by 1. Okay, that was a waste of time. Huzzah! So that was just her looting, but that's the end of turn anyway because all enemies are dead, so we actually do just skip straight to end of turn event. 11. Inspiring effort, pick a hero to get inspiration. I will pick Carillion, and then that means both she and Saltspire are flipping her card. Well, night has fallen in Ulfenkarn. Oh, and that was fully looted. Let's just get rid of that. We need to dump all of our Destiny dice. 3 6s and 2 1s. 3 dice for Carillion. That's pretty good. 5, 5, 6. 4 dice for Saltspire. 2 5s, a 4, oops, knock that. 2 5s, a 4 and a 1. 3 dice for Imelda. 1 3 5. 4 dice for the dwarf. 1 2 2 6. It's not so great. There is no enemies left on the field, so all those cards are gone. So it is just a case of drawing for our heroes to see the last 2 tiles we need to clear to get down to the nest. It is Barden going first. Then it is Saltspire, then Krillin, and then Imelda last, plus whatever enemies we're about to discover. So Barden goes first. He'll immediately spend his 6 to open the door, and that means we draw 2 cards. Our final 2 cards to search: L-shape and Tiny Room. So that's the staircase, I guess, that leads down to the Fell Guardian's lair. Our final 2: opposition, a Bloodborne, of course, and 3 zombies. Not so bad. I'll get that set up. Alright, the final foes are set up. We have their flipped side cards here. They're dangerous. It's nighttime. These are the last people standing in our way. It's still the dwarf's turn. He is going to move, and then he's going to smack the Bloodborne twice in the face with his double D12X. Simple as that. First swing. Off camera, but it was a normal hit, which for him equals 3 damage on his flip side. Does the Bloodborne ignore it? No. Good start. Take your 3 wounds, and then the other attack. Also 3. Is it ignored? It is not. Do they only have 6? How many do they have? They only have 6. He died. Very lucky. Because they are vicious at the best of times. Inspiration point. Might use it for a reroll. Yeah, he did. Oh, you might desperately. I keep forgetting this is only half a mission. We're doing the other half next time, like I said last time. He has nothing left. So it goes to Saltspire's turn. He's way back there, unfortunately. He'll spend a 4 and a 5 to move 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can he get down to the zombies? He could. He'll wait and he'll overwatch with a 5 and a 1. Why not? Carillion, she's hurt. She'll try a Vit roll, which for her on her flip side is a D8. Yep, she got rid of her basic wound, and then she'll move and overwatch with a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, definitely more than enough because she's very, very fast. And then that's her turn, and then Imelda, way at the back, she'll move for a 3 and a 5, which gives her 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then she shall heal with a 1. And please get rid of this wound that's been vexing you. Finally! She's back to full health. Then it's just the zombies. That's a 2. Grave Call. The leader must place 1 available gravestone model. You know, I'm just going to call this in advance. It's been going on long enough. 1, 2. It would just be a zombie spawns. Actually, you know what? I'll just put a zombie next to him rather than look out the grave marker, because that's what it does. So that triggers all sorts of overwatch. Saltspire will sword the guy who just popped up next to him, and his sword is actually now a double D8 on his flip side. He killed it with 4. So that's the one that would have popped up from the grave. And then he'll shoot his gun, which on this flip side is a D8 and a D12, which is a bit weird. He got a crit for 4 damage and killed another one. And who else had it? Krillin. She can fire once. On her flip side, she has double D12s for everything. She got a crit, which on her flip side is 3 damage, and that kills the last zombie. So actually, because there's no more enemies and no more can spawn, we still need to do an end of turn event, but we don't need to play the next turn because they just walk to the door here and flip it, and they're in the Fell Guardian's lair. So we'll just do the end of turn event. Everyone's healed anyway. 2. Will of the Master does nothing because there's no enemies on the board. So yes, we could technically play another turn. They're literally just walking up to that door and flipping it, and then they go down to the second part of the mission, the actual decapitation, where we have a preset map, we have a preset mission. It's going to be pure murder because it's on nightfall, so everything's going to be flipped over. I don't think that's a particularly fair mechanic myself, but that's the way the game's meant to be played. So join me in a week's time and we'll be taking on the Fell Guardian, otherwise known as the big wolf dog thing. Look forward to that. Thanks for watching. Ta-ta for now.